But they could do
it
that.
It could be an Elseworld one, and maybe they'll bring back Michael Rosenbaum.
I'd be down for that kind of.
He was in.
No, I don't. No, wait, no, I. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Illiterates. This is episode 3. We don't know how to read still, but we do know how to watch movies, which I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but we are. I'm here with Troy and Christian. Troy came back. I don't know why he did, and Christian came back because I forced him to. So
speak for yourself. I can read subtitles pretty well.
You put subtitles on all your movies.
All of them, because I can't speak English, so I have to read English.
Yeah,
that's
you're Australian.
That's actually something I kind of think about because me and Scribe are doing a Harry Potter rewatch, and we mostly put subtitles on. And I don't. It's not that it's racist, but sometimes the way that certain characters say things in a very strong British accent, I'm like, I gotta do like a double take to be like, what did they say?
You've clearly never watched Love Island. That show is the most British thing I've ever seen in my life. We have to put subtitles on every single time. Yeah,
I'm scared of Love Island.
It's terrifying. Actually, you should watch. Okay, speaking of shows that are way too British, but this one's actually good. Stathlets Flats is fucking hilarious.
That sounds like such a weird name.
It's a super British show, but it has the girl from What We Do in the Shadows, Natasha, I forgot her last name, and her brother, I think, are in it, and it's so fucking funny. It is like peak comedy right there.
What is it even called?
Stath Lets Flats. His name is Stath, and he lets, because he's British, that's what, like, renting flats, like apartments. So Stath Lets, it's a very British name.
It's a
very funny show.
It's British, but
Aussie.
I was gonna say it's written starring the guy from Paddington 2 and Fleabag, so Twitter would probably
yeah.
But yeah, what were you saying, Christian?
I was gonna say the Aussie accent is just like an inferior, lazy British accent.
It's just an angrier British accent.
Are you saying your own accent is inferior to British people?
No, I never said anything about the quality of the person. I said the accent.
Oh, okay. The bunch of angry Australian comments now, and by a bunch I mean like just CJ comments. Dude, I've been thinking more about whether I would visit Australia or not, or if I'm still too scared. I think I'm still too scared.
Every living thing here will kill you, but like otherwise it's not that bad.
Thanks for the precursor warning. That really boosted my confidence.
Dude, I've lived here for 19 years and I haven't been killed by the wildlife.
But snakes. My only thing is snakes. I'm like Indiana Jones. I mean, that's not even a good comparison.
Yeah, it's me with spiders. And
Australia's
got the scary spiders. I'm not fucking with that.
Why does Spider-Man have to be a
you don't actually see the snakes or spiders that like as often as you would not like. I mean, I was driving yesterday and a huntsman was on my windshield, but it didn't hurt me. It just fucking stared at me while I was driving.
Just being within the proximity of that is like, okay, I can see one. For every one I can see, there's a chance there's like 5 more I can't see that are closer.
Exactly. You know? It's the thing with ants. So, it's like
notoriously they do hide. Like at least huntsmen. Do you know what huntsmen look like?
I do not. I don't have a desire to see one.
Please don't send a picture.
Like Chris Hemsworth in Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, that's such a good movie that I've never seen.
That was such a deep take. That was such a deep cut.
They don't look like Chris Hemsworth, unfortunately.
That's bullshit.
What they do look like is a fucking hellspawn of Satan. And they're
is it like the weird like yellow and white one?
Yeah, I'm not going to stream that to you, but I will.
Yes, thank you. I would not look.
I'm looking and I'm backing away from my
I'll put it on the other screen.
I'm backing away. The mic can't hear me as hot, but I'm scared still.
I'm putting it on the other screen. It's fine. Oh my god, that's big. Holy shit.
Is it white?
Yeah, these things.
It's like white and yellow.
I'm just here vibing. I'm just here
They're
drinking
white,
my iced
yellow.
tea.
They're a bit furry, and they can be as big as like the palm of your hand.
Okay, you said furry, and that was done. Then no,
They can be
thank you.
furries.
So,
They really love Judy Hopps.
do you think there are spider furries? I mean, his name
I'm
is Spider-Man, I guess, but
I swear to God.
why does Spider-Man have to be represented by a spider?
I think that's the point. It's like it's because Amazing Fantasy was supposed to be a horror book, right?
Really?
And
Oh,
like he was based on a I remember I don't fucking remember. I remember a little bit of like everything about Spider-Man should be like a horror character. But because the book was getting canceled, they were just like, fuck it, let's make him a superhero instead.
That's
Because it's like he's bitten by a radioactive spider. That sounds like the beginning of a fucking horror movie.
yeah.
He climbs walls. He dresses like head to toe, covers his entire body
with webs and like
yeah,
weird
and like
eyes.
he essentially suffocates criminals in this big fan. You know, like
Okay. No,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Bye. Thanks. You didn't. Yeah,
I made the mistake. I
did.
made a mistake.
You did, and now I'm
just vibing here.
Now, okay.
So yeah,
I don't know your
that's
limits.
in a
Know your limits.
Your limits, and mine is 0.
Fucking what's the? But then in the story, where would it be horror? With Amazing Fantasy,
when he's
I think I guess I think really the only horror element is the spider bite.
Mm-hmm.
But like just on the base concept of like on paper, I think that it has all the markings of something that would be like, what the fuck, that's terrifying. You know?
Well, they did that in the 1994 Spider-Man show where he was like slowly turning into a giant.
Yeah, well, that was
spider.
I think that was a comic line, a comic arc too.
Really?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah.
Huh.
Most of those arcs in that show were comic arcs.
So then I guess of course you get someone like Raimi.
I only watched it for the first time last year, and so I didn't remember anything. I used to watch it like when I was a child, but I didn't remember anything. And then it got to the episodes where he's like, "Why do my ribs ache?" And I'm like, "Oh, no. He's probably just hurt." And then all these arms burst out of his rib cage, and I'm like, "Okay, this is fine."
The 90s were cool. The 90s were great.
Which is weird because you know what they're doing there is they're contorting the characters the same way like people today contort modern characters, you know? But like there's just more publicity for it now.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like if you're gonna get an adaptation of what's a new like Miss Marvel or something, and they just change your look completely or they change your power set, you'd see like a lot of discussion about it. But like back then, when they did the thing with Spider-Man where he grows arms out of his like waist, was there a discussion about it?
I'm sure. I mean, this was I believe it was pre like maybe not pre-internet, but pre like general internet discourse and stuff. So like the most discussion you'd see is like newspaper articles or fucking like fan letters and stuff, and maybe some forums. But like
back then, was
I think
fan
it mostly
letters
came from a place of like it came. I think it came from the same place as like well, I don't know. It was never supposed to be like a permanent change or anything. But I think it was just supposed to be a fun, spooky arc that was like, whoa, wild, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like Superman Red or Blue that they were trying to like permanently change the character.
They're just trying to try fun shit to see what
sticks. Yeah, fun, stupid comic book shit. Which like I fuck with that.
When's the last time we got? I guess maybe Jimmy Olsen was like a big like fun crazy stuff. But then even that I haven't read the series as a whole, but even that has some depth to it. I'm trying to think of the last time we got something like old, like 70s style,
like Silver Age style.
Yeah, kind of like just like a dumb comic book with no real crazy thing with the same. Because I feel like if they were to make something like that with one of like a big two character, that would do well because it's like, ooh, cool classic thing. But I don't know. What would you do that with? Would you just do that with Spider-Man and then like, or would that be?
I don't know. I feel like that era of Spider-Man was never really my thing. You know.
Yeah.
I was mainly into the Ditko stuff. I guess the JMS stuff was kind of that because JMS really kind of tried to flip the script on a lot of things, but it wasn't like in a goofy way. It was like, let's tear apart the character and make him so we can like further define what makes him who he is and stuff. So like I feel like Spider-Man wouldn't necessarily work for a Jimmy Olsen style thing, but that might just be like my own biases towards what I'm interested in. I don't know. I feel like Batman could use that right now.
The Batman,
I guess
okay, a Batman like bring it back to like I don't even
like
want to say
Silver Age
yeah,
Batman, and I guess that's kind of what Batman Universe was. I haven't read all of that, but I've read a little bit.
yeah.
But like bring it back, like take a step back from like not to say that like every modern Batman is like Frank Miller-esque, but like it
We're
kind of
getting a
is
bit more
in a
of
way.
it, yeah.
We're getting a lot more of it because it's the popular one now. But like take a step back from the gritty dark Batman and just go back to like Adam West style Batman. I think I haven't seen it yet, but those animated movies with Adam West, they look really fun.
I
I'm
haven't
interested
seen
in
them
those.
either. I started like the Two-Face one and then I just couldn't finish it, but I've been
Yeah.
meaning to because I feel like that'd be cool. You know what I'm ready for with Batman? I'm ready for Batman to start having facial expressions.
I'm ready for Batman to have claws like in the fucking
That's true.
2004
He
show.
needs to have claws as well.
Bring back the claws. Make that
Bring-
the title.
Could you do
I just want Batman to be goofy again, to some regard. There's a bit of charm to it.
I think the show. Sorry, not to promote the upcoming video on the Batman. I think the show has like the perfect balance of it, where it's like he has kind of stupid one-liners, but it's this sense of it's, but it's not in like a goofy sense. It's like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's not quips, but it's not like dark brooding shit.
But it's
not making fun of him.
It's kind of one-liners, but it's not, because I think the thing with one-liners in like the old show, it's like you gave a lot of those to kind of Robin too, and you disperse that amongst the cast. Where I feel like with the Batman show, it's like looks like this character is going to do something, da 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 da, and then you cue the next fucking scene.
It's like a segue.
Yeah, and I think I like them as segues because then you're not drawing as much attention to them in the middle of a scene.
That's true.
You know, and I feel like it works with characters like Batgirl because they give her more funny shit to say.
Yeah,
and
those are more quips, I would say. Like they're more meant to be comedic.
Mm.
Whereas I feel like when Batman says a one-liner in like the show where he'll be like, "Face it, Firefly," and he'd catch the Batarang, and he'd be like, "You're cooked."
Yeah,
that's not meant to be like a ha-ha moment. It feels more like it's meant to be a cool moment. Like, oh shit, Batman's cool. You know?
I think subconsciously it's like Bruce is just like, yeah, I said that. You know,
yeah,
because
which I really like. I think it's really funny
because it's like it's Bruce, and like you never see him do that anymore. And I want him to do that because he's young. And I think the big thing that no one gives if I ever do another 2004 video, which I've been debating maybe doing it eventually, they never give him credit for showing his like actual just like evolution, as a character through the show. It's so subtle and it's not the most biggest thing in the world, but the show starts off with him like in basically like year one, you know, like just
you're doing. I think it's year two, right?
Yeah, I think it is year two. And he's just doing whatever the fuck, and he is trying and he's finding his footing. And then when it comes to like season 5, it's like crazy Justice League shit. And like you never. It's in Brave and the Bold. It was kind of the same status quo for everything.
Oh my god, I love Brave and the Bold though.
I love it.
That's what I want from more Batman shit, like that type.
And I like Brave and the Bold. I don't love it because it felt kind of isolated with that.
Yeah.
Where
every episode was kind of a one-off thing for sure.
And I kind of wanted a little bit more, I guess, kind of cohesiveness with it. Where Brave and the Bold was something. It was. I'm trying to think of a good thing to compare it to with like another character. I was gonna say the Harley Quinn show, but that's not even that's still like narrative. I can't think of anything.
Brave and the Bold was very much like an old serial where like you don't have to watch every episode. It's a very easily syndicated show.
Yeah.
And same with the Batman 2005 or 4.
That's like
you got it wrong.
Sorry, my bad.
You insulted me.
Sorry, Christian,
on my show.
But like it was kind of the same with Batman with the Batman, but at least the Batman would have like 2-parters. It would have a general progression of like it starts with him basically still being a myth, like he's the Batman, and then you're right. It slowly shows him becoming like proper superhero Batman, Justice League type guy.
Yeah, and
that's a nice little progression that I don't think we see very often. I think that's very cool
because it's not even part of the story directly.
No,
because I feel like. I've thought in my head to compare 2004 with Spectacular Spider-Man, but the thing with Spectacular Spider-Man, it is like basically one season of 24 episodes, right? And it's like a whole show with a full story that's like written to the core with like even the way they wrote it with the fucking note cards and shit. They're laying out plot elements. They're following up each plot elements. You binge the show like in one sitting. You don't like turn it on then turn on. It's like, I guess it's kind of like Avatar, where Avatar has a full plot thread throughout, but then even Avatar has its own little episodes. And I guess Spider-Man even has its own little episodes, but the fact that it's just 24 makes it a little bit harder to say that.
Well, it's like there's this is kind of the thing with most shows, but like comparing Spectacular Spider-Man would have its A plot for the episode, and that would be the villain of the week basically, and but then there would be a B plot which would be a continuous thing throughout the series, like Eddie or like the black suit stuff or the fucking Master Planner stuff, like those things. It would build up to a thing to have one episode that you could still watch on its own. You can still, if you're a kid, you don't have to watch the Eddie stuff to understand the Venom episode when he comes in, because it's like, oh, that's just Venom and he shows up.
Yeah.
But it helps if you have seen it, you know?
And I feel like the season 2 does more of that, where not like the isolation, but the idea that, okay, we're going to have more two-parters, like the identity arc and the Master Planner arc, and they build more of those. But then that's why I kind of like the Molten Man episode, you know, or the I mean the prison one is kind of isolated too, even though
I love the prison one.
The prison
one's
one
my favorite fucking episode.
It's either the prison one or the Black Cat one.
Yeah, they did that with Black Cat, where it's like it just sort of assumes that you know who she is. They don't really introduce her.
And I think this is going to be a weird thing to say. The Spectacular Spider-Man feels like what a CW show should be.
That's fair.
Like, because like it gives me the Flash season 1 vibes in the way that first few episodes you kind of organize what the story is going to be like, and then after that, you know, you get into a place where it can kind of be recurring and you can just watch an episode, but then there are ties to everything else, and then, you know, you have your big penultimate episode, you have your final episode, and it ends on kind of a cliffhanger, I guess, too. But it reminds me of the Flash in a good way, and I feel like more. Did this show just not get attention? Is that what happened?
What, Spectacular?
Yeah, or was it
No,
just
Spectacular was really successful. Spectacular was like beloved and was like critically acclaimed, and like it did well and it sold toys. The only reason it got canceled is because of the Disney buyout with Marvel.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it was a rights thing, and Sony still had the rights to the Spectacular Spider-Man name and series and everything, but Disney had the rights to make Spider-Man TV shows, and so it always weirded me out though that their decision was, I always expected them to pull like a Ben 10, where like, you know how Ben 10 went from Ben 10 to Ben 10 Alien Force and then Ultimate Alien, and then whatever they did after that and shit. Well, but it was still like especially Ultimate Alien after Alien Force, they were the same show effectively, like same cast, same art style, same everything. I don't understand why they couldn't do that. Granted, I don't know all the legal stuff, but I feel like that's kind of weird that was never an attempt, you know?
Because what's the point of retaining those rights if you can't do anything with them? You might as well sell it, right?
Yeah, and it's like, and I don't know if maybe the rights were to Josh Keaton as this specific version of Spider-Man and in this art style with this, you know, this everything, but like I don't understand why there's never an attempt to make fucking, what's another adjective? I always said it's already spectacular. Like make a show called The Amazing Spider-Man, or make Ultimate just Spectacular Spider-Man season 3 sensational. Yeah, that's a better one.
Yeah.
And so it's like it could be kind of like a one-off. Like I guess maybe some of the cliffhanger stuff wouldn't get as resolved. Maybe they'd have to skip to like college or something.
Yeah.
But like I never understood why their decision was back to high school, call it Ultimate, get criminal Drake Bell to voice him. And it was just, it's a weird choice.
Imagine if they did Spectacular, but then they just subbed in Drake Bell.
Oh, that would have been so much worse. Oh my god.
That would have aged. I can't make a video essay on that. God damn it.
The people who did Earth's Mightiest Heroes are kicking themselves right now because they're like, oh fuck. Oh no. We got the worst one.
Yeah.
We got the Dean Cain of Spider-Man actors.
Oh god. Arguably worse. But
probably worse. We don't know. We don't know yet about Dean Cain.
No, he just like went. Didn't he like leave Supergirl? I remember seeing.
Oh, they
him
kicked
in
him off
Supergirl.
Supergirl.
They kicked him off. Okay.
Yeah, because he started being super like racist and shit,
Yeah.
and like going all like hardcore right wing, like and Supergirl, everybody would criticize her for being like overly woke and stuff, but like I believe that's why he left, or maybe he didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
I think
It was one or
because
the
I
other.
remember there was an arc with him like being, was he Hank
Yeah.
Henshaw?
No, he was okay. It was really weird, and it was super fucking weird. So Hank Henshaw was played by I don't remember his name, the guy who played Martian Manhunter.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was revealed that
he is
Hank Henshaw
Martian
actually
Manhunter.
disappeared,
Yeah.
and when Martian Manhunter came in and replaced him. And when Martian Manhunter disappeared, also when Dean Cain's character disappeared and like died, and he was Supergirl's like adoptive dad. But they implied that Dean Cain was supposed to come back as Cyborg Superman, because that would at least make more sense. But then they brought back just real Hank Henshaw, played by the same guy as Martian Manhunter, and he called himself Cyborg Superman, even though he looked nothing like Superman. It was so weird. And he just had like a little half like a metal Phantom of the Opera mask. It was really funny.
I remember seeing the mask and I was like, this isn't
terrible.
I thought the point was that he's like impersonating him, but then I guess they can do something different. But even still,
he didn't even wear an S. He didn't do it. Was really really weird.
He just was
like, why even do it?
Yeah. But then Hank Henshaw, or like not Hank Henshaw, Jeremiah, right, was his name. He was also like evil or something, right?
Oh, you might be right.
Because I remember something about him coming back, and then turns out he was like betraying all of them. And then I remember an episode where he confronted his daughters, and then I never saw him again. And I didn't know.
Right.
And
if this was post season 2, I have no idea. I didn't watch anything after season 2.
I think it was mid season 2.
I like the show. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get into what they were doing with season 3. I had an expectation for season 3 that I thought that they were gonna go, and they didn't go, and I was a petty bitch.
Season 3 felt very season 3 of The Flash.
Yeah.
In the way that it starts off with something kind of cool, and then it just dipped down from there. Like I kind of dug the Legion Mon-El stuff because it's like, ooh, that's an interesting dynamic to play with. And then after that, they just got distracted with the one the other Superman. There is such a thing in Superman stuff and Supergirl stuff to be like, oh, holy shit, there are more Kryptonians.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of that. I'm going to make another I'm tired
trope,
video, but it's just going to be, instead of I'm tired of evil Superman, I'm tired of more Kryptonians. It'd be
like if in Avatar, like every episode was another airbender that showed up and turned out to be evil.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of like, I guess the point of Superman isn't really reliant on it, but like it's still kind of part of it.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird choice. Yeah.
It's just that they hammer that away so often, and it's like,
yeah.
And it's like, you can find.
I'm so surprised. You would think with that show that they would have done Red Lanterns, but they never did.
I think there's a thing with lanterns that DC is.
They
just
must
scared.
maybe.
DC
like
is
Red
just
Lantern.
scared.
Nobody uses Red Lanterns except for the Green Lanterns run by Sam Humphries, which is great, and the animated series.
And you think that they would
also great. I would disagree. I feel like Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham.
You're right.
That is true. We have atrocious.
But like Supergirl was a Red Lantern at the time, I think, or at least like a year or two before. It was just a weird choice to never like. And what are they on, season 7 now?
It's their last season, season 5.
Season 5? Is it really in season 5?
I think it's only season 5. Maybe
That's
season
weird.
6. It
might be 6, yeah. Because I thought, I don't know. But yeah, like it was just weird to me that like they never once were like, all right, let's try or I don't know, maybe they did and maybe they just weren't allowed. But like it would have been cool. It would have been a nice. This is the season with the lanterns because they already had aliens.
Yeah.
And lanterns are just aliens.
And I think.
What are they gonna do? What, can Diggle not be a Green Lantern right now?
No, he
no,
can't.
what a nightmare.
That's only Jeff Johns gets to touch the lanterns. That's the only thing.
Okay, did you watch the new Superman and Lois?
I did. I have takes. Should I get into them?
I do not. If you're going to talk about it, I will leave.
We're not going to. I won't talk spoilers and stuff. There's just a character that shows up, and it's a weird choice. It's Diggle's in the episode that they've been marketing that and stuff. Yeah. I don't know why he had to be there.
He didn't. He
really didn't.
I was excited for him to be there because the last other he was in Batwoman, and I didn't watch Batwoman.
He was in Batwoman?
He was in Batwoman for like a scene with
another
Luke Fox.
weird one.
And I just watched the scene because TV Promos posted it. And I was like, oh, they're kind of hinting at the Lantern thing. I kind of like this. And then he was in the Flash episode, and I watched like half of the Flash episode. And they were, again, hinting at the Green Lantern thing more. They were doing a little bit more with it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then the Superman Lois episode comes up, and he doesn't do shit. He's just in there.
Yeah.
And he just says glowing boxes at one point. And I'm like,
it's really...
he might as well just looked at the camera and said, glowing boxes, audience. And
I feel like Superman Lois has benefited from the fact that it's so disconnected. I guess the fact that it's disconnected from the Flareoverse has been kind of its biggest benefit. I guess the only issue with that is like they haven't mentioned Kara, which kind of sucks. That would it would be nice for them.
I thought they would put Kara at the last episode or something.
Of all the Arrowverse guests to be the first one, I expected either Barry or Kara.
Yeah,
not John Diggle.
Yeah, like
John Diggle Stewart is his real name.
Yeah, how do they?
Because some fan theory on Reddit came up with that, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have any other better ideas, so let's just do that."
So Superman reveals that he is Superman to his kids in the first episode, right? That's not. Yeah, that's you watched the fucking first episode, right, Christian? But they never address Kara. Does he just acknowledge Kara as their cousin?
I'm sure off screen he was like, "Yeah, she's my cousin." Granted, I don't know what's going on in the current show right now. Maybe she's like off world or she's doing something. But it's weird that there hasn't been just the mention of the word Supergirl, you know?
Yeah. You know what would kind of throw a wrench in everything? If they did Lex Luthor next season on the show.
It's not.
It is not. It's some other
oh no, I get yeah.
But they could do that.
It could be an Elseworld one, and maybe they'll bring back Michael Rosenbaum.
I'd be down for that kind of.
He was in.
No, I don't. No, wait. No, I do, and I acknowledge that. I acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And that's all I do. Yes, the Justice League cartoon. Yeah. That one, where he played.
I don't want to come back as Lex though. I'd be interested to see him. I don't think he would. I remember seeing on his podcast he talked with Laura Vandervoort. I don't know how to say her last name.
Yeah.
About like when she was on Supergirl for that episode, and they were talking about like just how the process is so much more different now. That he was like, I don't know if I want to get into that because it's like I'm used to Smallville, I'm used to those people. I don't want to be like a guest star, you know.
And it's like you can kind of tell.
I feel that.
You can't tell it as much with Superman and Lois, but I think you can tell with the other shows. They're not changing anything from the script. There's no leeway room unless you're a certain character to do anything with the script.
They're very corporate.
Yeah.
Like this sounds mean, but they feel like the Marvel movies of TV shows, you know, where like they're very quickly produced, and some of them are great, and like there's but they're all very visual. A lot of them are very visually similar.
Yeah, I mean, you calling them
granted, it's just that's just network TV in general. Network TV, you have to be quick to produce it.
Yeah,
there's not a ton of directorial freedom in network, like Law and Order. Name a Law and Order director, you can't, but you can name the actors in it because the actors have the most leeway with the characters.
Ice Cube, I guess. That's all I know. I don't watch
because that's the thing with TV in general. Like a TV director is not the same as a film director.
Yeah.
TV directors come in to shoot the script, shoot it for coverage, shoot it as quickly as possible, and get out of there.
And you get so like actors, and that's why actors get interested in it, right? Like Tom Kavanagh gets
Grant is probably the most like reliable person to talk to about Barry because he's the person that's been working with Barry the longest, longer than the current showrunner. That's for sure.
I feel so fucking bad for Grant Gustin, and I know maybe he doesn't feel bad for himself.
No, he's getting paid. He's in a big season. Still the most successful CW show.
But I go home and cry every night because I'm like, why?
He's like, man, it's the same with like Felicity and Emily Bit Records with Arrow.
Yeah,
she didn't like her character very much. I'm sure she liked her character, but I'm sure she wasn't huge on the way that they were writing her because they were fucking up that character.
Wasn't she kind of not unwilling, but like she didn't want to come back for the last season?
But then they know the behind the scenes stuff because I just stopped following after season 6. I was just like, they clearly don't care about Green Arrow fans, so I was like, I'm out.
I watched. I think I gave up on at the start of season 5 or season 6, whichever one
season
it was.
5 was a good one. I think you missed out.
It must have been season 6 because they got married, and then all I
Yeah,
remember
those
was there was
6.
an episode where she was gonna torture someone, and I'm like, okay, all right, well,
Oh, that
I'm
is the
checking
least
out.
of the worst things she's done.
That
That
is.
motherfucker bombed us. She nuked a city.
Wait,
Did you?
what?
Yeah.
She was like, there
What?
was a nuke being sent to a big city, and so
Yep.
she was like, I have to redirect it, and she picked another city because it could
Oh
only
my
be
god!
it was either the big city or the small city somehow, some hacker queen she is,
Yeah.
but like it was like a trolley problem thing, and
But
it
her.
was just it was a weird writing decision to even give her that. Because
Was.
then she had like then later on in the show they had people Ragman showed up and he was
But then
great.
they
He
wrote
was
him
a
out of
great
the
character.
show. They were like,
Yeah, they
"Nah,
wrote him
he's
out.
not." Wait, Troy, would you say her making the decision was a girl boss moment?
I think it's the opposite of girl boss moment. That's a
Okay, so
That's not on your bingo
when
card.
was this? Because I'm looking this up now.
I think
Is
this was
this
season
was
4.
season
It was-
4 is when she bombed the city. Season 5 was when Ragman showed up. And so Ragman was like he
Yeah.
lived in that city and his family died and shit.
I
And like
remember that now. Yeah.
they had a second of like, oh, it's your fault, and then he left.
Yep.
It was
I
really
was-
weird.
He did a really cool power as well, and I'm like, oh, I
I
can't
love
wait to
Ragnar.
see this.
Ragnar
he
is a
just
great
left.
character.
Yeah.
And I liked that he was like a magic-y character because I don't know, I'm really into Justice League Dark characters, and I like the idea of Green Arrow leading that team because
That would be cool.
it's
Holy
such an
shit.
because he's such a cynic and
Yeah.
he's such a little bitch that he wouldn't like really be into it, but he's so grounded and he is a good leader at the end of the day. It would have been really interesting.
Arrow and Constantine. Not like Arrow,
God.
but like.
And that's
but
why I liked when Constantine showed up in season 4.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I mean, he was in the flashbacks, and I liked him in the flashbacks. And I didn't even really like season 4 flashbacks.
Yeah. I didn't like season 4 at all.
It was like the season 4 flashbacks felt like they had the forest set and they shot all of them in like a week. That's how it feels like. I don't know if that's what happened, but
I think the biggest thing with Arrow, and this I get it to an extent, and this was always the biggest issue, and it's from the very start. Green Arrow in the comics was not on the island for that long. He was never on the island for 5 years.
was he on for just like 2?
It was like 1 or 2 years, and it was a shitty time. He
Yeah.
got traumatized, but it wasn't this like 5 years in hell where I come back with with a like where I come back as Batman and shit.
Yeah.
Like he came back as just a socialist,
Mhm.
the worst kind of person. I say that as a socialist, but like it was this weird choice to do, and then they just ran out of shit to do with the flashbacks. You know?
And I think the thing with the flashback too is you got into a problem where it was like I came back and we're gonna document just the first year of me being on the island, and I have this journal, and that's my focus. And the second year, some other shit happens with Slade, but I'm not gonna mention that.
Stuff made sense. He was in the first season. And then with 3, he left the island, so he wasn't even on it.
Yeah.
Then he came back for the fourth season or something.
Yeah, it was really.
And then he left it again, and then he there was like a whole thing about.
Well, just a year where he had to survive on an island. Like he never like had to just eat.
Yeah.
Like he never just lived as a fucking like as just on an island.
It felt like like each flashback episode was like just a movie, of like him doing cool shit, where the island is supposed to be, I guess, like kind of like just like a penance jail for him, right?
It's like a purgatory. Yeah,
because that's.
And it didn't feel like purgatory. He felt fucking half the time in Russia and Hong Kong.
Every fucking time they bring up the island, every fucking time they always have to mention that it's Chinese for purgatory or it's Mandarin for whatever it is.
There's got to be a supercut of that, right?
I'm sure that, but it's like, and like my roommate pointed out to me, they were like, because they didn't watch Arrow, they only watched the Flash and the crossovers and stuff, and they were just like, like every time it came up, they're like, why do they keep fucking saying this?
Yeah,
it's not necessary.
It's Chinese. It's Mandarin for purgatory.
Weird.
What does Leanne mean?
I get it.
See,
I get it.
There are some things on the island that I really, really like. For example, I like that he then, like later on, he would use it as a prison for Slade. But I love season 2, and especially I think it might be the finale. It's been a while. I think it's the finale when it cuts between him fighting Slade on the island and him fighting him in the city. And I love seeing that. It's great.
I
That's
like that
kind
he
of what
goes
I
back
we all
at the
seen
beginning of season
we've all
2.
seen Black Widow, right?
Yes, I have.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted from Black Widow. Like flashback scenes in Budapest and like showing certain things happen and then the effects of those certain things in the modern day, like throughout the movie, you know?
Whereas that's just like 2 minutes.
It's not even 2 minutes.
It's
It's
like
like
30
5
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I thought that would have been more interesting and shit because that was where Arrow was at its best, where the flashback arc, the in the modern day arc like kind of came together and stuff. But then they kept trying to redo that. They kept trying to like.
I think season 4 was the
grab
worst
it.
of that, right? Because it
Yeah.
was like there's a magic thing about his light and the dark, and
Yeah,
that was
but see,
like
it was the weirdest thing about the season 4 flashback stuff. It would have been so fucking easy because I just remember season 4 very vividly. In the Constantine episode, they showed that the tattoo is a magic protection spell, like that little tattoo that he adds on his chest and stuff.
yeah.
And then in season 4, in the modern day, Felicity's like, "Oh, did you get rid of that tattoo?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't really need it anymore." You could have just made it about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no.
You
And
could have
they're
made
like
effects of that shit, but then they did like weird fucking Damien Dark stuff with Korn, and like I can't believe you got me talking about Arrow again. I'm mad at you. I haven't talked about Arrow in 2 years. Like
This is
it's
all
just
my
such a
root.
ridiculous decision for just they just kept making terrible decisions up until season 5, which got good again.
And then
But then
season
they
6.
yeah,
don't like
and I never watched season 7. Season 7.
Season 7, the prison shit is cool. That's the one thing
No.
else. The weird Emiko stuff that happens later is I
Oh
don't.
my god! I heard they made her a villain, and I'm mad.
Yeah.
I love that character.
If you
In the comics,
don't,
she's a fantastic character. She is
Just-
kind of replacing Mia.
yeah.
It is kind of shitty, but she's a great character.
If
Why
you,
the fuck it up? How do you fuck it up? It's
They
not
did.
hard to.
if you like Emiko,
I
they
really
fucked it
like
up.
that the show. I really like the show had Nissa Al Ghul. I
was cool.
loved her every time she came up. She was just such
Yeah,
a
she's great.
cool character because it was
Yeah.
like. Then again, the show was trying to be a bit too Batman, but I did enjoy it.
And they brought in Talia later down the line. It's like, why do we have Talia?
Yeah.
Because the Nissa actor doesn't want to show up anymore. You know, why do we have?
Not to mention
Why
that
do we have
Oliver
Deathstroke's
fought
son? Because
Ra's,
Anna
yeah.
Bennett doesn't want to show up.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean, I will
Yeah, and then
say.
Ra's is a villain, Mr. Whitewash Ra's for the second time in the world.
Yep.
Yeah,
I feel like they will recast Raish and then put him in something again down the line,
probably.
like in the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
If it even fucking keeps going, which I don't know. But I think season 7, the prison shit is good. If you're gonna watch season 7, which I don't think you are, Troy, but if you do, just watch it till the 7th episode before the crossover.
If I'm really starved for, because I'm pretty starved for content.
Mm.
I mean, I'm getting that DC versus Vampires book because it has Green Arrow in it.
Yeah, it looked.
Like,
I saw Batman and Green Arrow on the cover, and I was like, you would have.
really-
I thought you would have
looks like
conflicting feelings.
I have conflicting feelings because it's another Batman book, but it doesn't have Batman in the title, which is nice, I guess.
Mm.
Like it's very possible Batman's gonna die in the first issue.
Yeah.
I have conflicting feelings about it because it feels like DC's trying to capitalize off of Deceased. Because Deceased is great.
Yeah.
Deceased is fantastic. Deceased is probably one of the best DC comics ever.
Who's writing
Like-
vampires?
Tynan, I think.
Mm.
And Tynan's a good writer. Tynan's a very good writer. He's not Tom Taylor,
Mm.
but he's a good writer. Otto Schmidt's on the art. Oh, sorry, Tynan and Rosenberg, I believe.
Yeah, I saw Otto Schmidt's on the art, and I was like, okay, I will read this.
Yeah, and I get anything Otto Schmidt's on because Otto Schmidt is like probably my favorite artist, especially drawing for Green Arrow.
Mm.
But it's just weird. Like Green Arrow's now a secondary character in 2 books, in 2 like miniseries.
Mm.
It's this, and then it's the Aquaman book. And it's like
It just won't give him a run.
Just give. You can't give me like a Green Arrow Black Canary like maxi series.
Mm.
Fucking DC Black Label. Oh, sorry, DC Black Label's only for Batman books.
Yeah,
apparently.
no, yeah. You have to make Batman the Sussy Among Us. That's the only Batman book.
I don't
I'm
understand why you have this label of here's Elseworld shit, right?
Christian. Fuck you. Stop, please. I'm begging you. Are you gonna? I don't have video recording, so the audience doesn't know what you're doing. But basically, he's doing the equivalent of just like scratching my eyes out, but through a Discord call. For context, Christian got an Among Us, the stress ball plushie thing, and he's showing it on. Don't say that. Don't say
It's
that.
very satisfying because you can crush it
I'm very stressed,
And
yeah.
looks
Wait, let
like
me see the
my
back.
task
I gotta see if he's thick.
is
Bring a backpack.
He doesn't even have a
Did you-
cheek. He just has the Drew Gooden one cheek thing. It's just one whole cheek, bro. I do like that the like the white like glass thing is like accentuated out. That's a nice
yeah.
touch.
Like it isn't. Yeah.
It's just not printed on. Yeah, that's good. Good job. Great purchase.
I found it in electrical.
I hate you.
I don't want to
Um,
respond to that. I'm just. Anyways,
But yeah, long
Batman.
story short, DC hates
Batman
Green
Among
Arrow.
Us. Batman Among Us.
Batman Among Us. That
I
actually
ca-
okay. I'm sure it will
Matthew
be a good one.
Tonslin. The only reason I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited is Matthew Tonslin.
See, the
That's-
reason I'm excited is because of Sorrentino. Sorrentino's art is fucking perfect.
I did see those
love
little pictures. I was like, that's cool.
You
I don't
should
like the
read-
suit. I don't love
Yeah,
the suit.
I don't like any gritty Batman suit to just in general. I
Mm.
think the only one that I like genuinely like is the one in the movie.
It feels like something that CW would have done like a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and I don't love that.
No, you know what it reminds? It looks like the Fortnite skin, not the new one.
No,
The-
now I
right-
yeah, fuck.
yeah,
You're right.
it
You're
does.
right. No, I would like that skin in Fortnite. Like the skin like that in Fortnite.
Yeah.
That would have. Oh no, it does look like the Fortnite skin.
say that word on a podcast.
You said Among Us. I don't want to hear shit from you.
Among Us is arguably worse.
But yeah, that book looks cool. I'm sure on its own it'll be a fun book.
Mm.
But it's like it's in this landscape of we already have like 5 other Batman books of
Oh.
Batman Detective Comics. We have The Detective. We have Urban Legends.
Yeah.
We have Reptilian, and now we have this, and then we have probably some more, and then all the Bat Family books.
I mean, I
it's
guess
just
Tom
like-
Taylor's writing one of them, so there you
Tom
go.
Taylor's writing. He's writing The Detective, and it's really good. I really like it.
Mm.
And I'm sure they're all good. I've heard Urban Legends is great. I have not heard anything about the Garth Ennis Reptilian one.
Mm. I
But
don't.
like,
What
they get
is
greenlit
that?
for a reason?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm sure it's a Killer Croc thing, or unless if it's like the lizard from Spider-Man.
What is Garth Ennis's take? Like, yeah, we already know his take on Batman, but what story does he
Yeah.
even want to say with the guy?
I'm interested to read it and stuff because Garth Ennis is a good writer. Like the Punisher Max books are really good.
Mm.
But yeah, just so many Batman books, not enough Green Arrow books,
Mm.
and like, how expensive is it to make a book? Like, really,
Expensive.
you know? What is
Yeah.
it? Paper, just paper. You just
Yeah.
paper, and you give the artist some money.
Or you make a webcomic. Yeah.
Or make a web. I would literally, I would love to write a Green Arrow thing for DC. If I would do it for free. Granted, I know that's not saying much, but like, ugh.
I have
DC,
weird ideas to contort.
Give me a Green Arrow thing.
I have weird ideas to contort Justice League.
Actually, I'd like to write an Iron Man thing. I had a really good idea for an Iron Man story, but
Ooh.
we can talk about what Christian wants to talk about now. Sorry,
Christian
I feel like I'm derailing the conversation.
Christian, what?
Oh, thanks.
Do it.
No, it's okay. I didn't want to interrupt. This is spoiler territory for the last episode of Loki.
Okay.
But so it ended with Loki coming back to the timeline, and it was a different timeline.
I haven't seen Loki, by the way.
He has not seen Loki.
Oh
He-
my God.
minimal spoilers.
Because I was waiting for it to be over, and now Olivia's on a trip, and so we're gonna watch it together. Sorry, I took a break from the Marvel discourse for a little bit, and my skin cleared up. I felt good about myself for once.
In that case, I won't go any further. Because as I said, I'm delving into spoiler territory. You're like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh no, I just
didn't-
deafened.
Yeah. He just went oofta.
I'll deafen, and I'll just tell me when you're done.
All right, okay,
go
all
for
right,
it.
definitely, and I'll ping you.
Mm.
All right.
All right.
So, yeah, it ended with Loki coming back to a different timeline. What if, and this is probably wishful thinking, but what if the MCU uses this to sort of soft reboot Spider-Man?
What do you mean?
Because,
Like,
as in, a lot of people are kind of unhappy that he's still in Iron Man's shadow. Like, for me, I couldn't care less, but a lot of people are upset that he's still in Iron Man's shadow, and he's not really like the Spider-Man that everyone knows and loves or whatever. What if they used that timeline reset almost as a soft reboot? So we come back to him, and he's not an entirely different character, but he's more more aligned with like the 616 version that we all
I
recognize.
The thing is, I don't know if they do that because, like, why would they, like, maybe they would a bit, but I don't know. I feel like that would be weird. I kind of prefer them to just keep going with whatever the fuck they were already doing, and then do that because I feel like that just feels like backtracking and like soft rebooting for no reason. Plus, that's all under Sony's control. And why would Sony want to go back on like any of their prior decisions? They're fucking Sony. So I'd like to think probably not. Although we might get a little bit of like a character edition, or something like that. Like MJ goes by Mary Jane instead of Michelle Jones. Yeah, Jones.
I think it's Michelle Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Anyways, that's all I want to say. I'll quickly ping Troy back.
Yeah. Troy, you're back. We talked about how Loki. I was gonna come up with a joke, but I couldn't come up with a good joke.
Gotta be quicker. You gotta be quicker.
Fast. I gotta be fast.
That Loki
like
is
Ralph
the imposter.
Boner.
Oh,
That wasn't funny though. That's not a joke. That doesn't count. If you say Fortnite or Among Us, your joke is invalid. Or fucking.
Hey, I thought I made
you in every discussion, and I say it, and I'm the villain.
When do I say it in every discussion? I don't say Among Us anymore. I used to.
Yeah, just not.
I'm not a piece of shit. I used to be though.
I used to be.
Have you guys watched I Think You Should Leave yet?
I have not.
It is the funniest show I think on the planet. It is easily like it's a work of genius. It is my version of Bo Burnham's Inside, in that I cannot stop thinking about it.
The Tim
Robinson show. Yeah.
I was about to say Tom Rothman, and I was like, that wrong person.
It is so fucking funny, and I keep on making references, and nobody gets it on my Twitter
because no one watches sketch comedy.
I know it's such good sketch comedy, though. It's so good.
No one watches sketch comedy anymore, and it sucks because it's
I feel like if they posted each sketch individually on Netflix instead of like in an episode,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like more people would be into it and stuff because like you could share it more easily, or post every sketch on YouTube. But I guess it's kind of against the Netflix business model.
I mean, I guess you could post a couple sketches on YouTube.
They do. They post.
They post Bo Burnham stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which I mean, how long is each sketch though?
They're like only a couple minutes. The longest is like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, then yeah. I was like, if it's like a 20-minute.
They do.
Episode,
they post the sketches. I think they're posting one from each episode or something. But like, it's such a good fucking show. It's so funny.
Yeah, I
just want a sloppy steak right now, man. You have no idea.
I saw sloppy steak on the TL, and I was like, I don't know if I want to know.
What does this mean?
It's just a steak with a glass of water slopped all over it. They tell you not to do it, but you just order a steak and a glass of water. They can't stop you.
Why is this a thing?
Why?
I used to be a real piece of shit. Slicked back hair, lived for New Year's Eve.
I think I've seen enough. I'm happy for God to take me away now.
I think we have to end the podcast. I don't know if that's.
You were missing out if you haven't watched that show. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm saying.
No, your pitch has indefinitely put me off watching it.
That's no. Because all I could think of when you said sloppy steak was sloppy seconds, and I was like, that's not the no.
Never. I would never.
That's still pretty PG.
That is. Is the show even? Is it R? I'm assuming it's R.
Yeah, they say fuck.
They say
they show
fuck.
Naked,
no.
They show naked dead bodies, but they're allowed to because they ain't got no soul.
You can't say fuck. Tease for Coda. There are 2 instances of the word fuck, making it a PG-13 movie.
Shit.
But do you
I thought PG-13 was only 1.
I thought it was 2.
Or did they have 2?
Shit, do I have to censor 1? Because they're both kind of good. So they happen within like a couple seconds.
I mean, I guess I've seen some movies that do too. So I guess it depends.
I think I'll get away with it.
I want to end this discussion by saying that the C word in the Australian culture is just like any other word, but for everywhere else, it is like
a curse. Yep. Which is why you should Never say bad words, kids. I think that's
Never.
the takeaway.
No.
Just don't say a bad
Never.
word. If you say a bad word, you will go to fucking jail. That's fucking jail. But yeah. Do we have anything else to talk about? I didn't have anything fucking scheduled. We hit 49 minutes, which is a decent enough runtime. It's not breaking an hour, but who the fuck cares about breaking an hour? I'll just put a coda teaser at the end of it. I'll get to 50 minutes. All right, everyone plug yourself. Christian first.
Okay. In the next month, I'm releasing a Superman video, so look out for that. It's gonna get you angry. Especially Troy, because I'm defending his least favorite version of the character. But that's me.
Listen, I'm sure it'll be good. I will like it.
Yeah?
I think I will. It
Bet.
looks good from what I've seen. It looks good.
He's lying to
I'm
you,
not.
Christian. He hates
I'm
it.
not.
He hates it.
I think
Guys, look at him. He
hates
hates. Look at. I'm pointing fingers at Troy now. He hates Snyder. He hates Snyder's
Please don't
Superman.
make sense like this. I don't.
He's
I like
tired of
Snyder.
evil Superman.
Yeah, that's true. But
Troy.
plug my shit now.
Yeah,
Okay.
plug your shit.
I just posted that Black Widow video, and it is flopping hard. So if anybody wants to watch that, it's a very fun time. And I've got a lot of commentaries coming soon. I've got a Superman 78 coming next week, and then the Batman the week after that, and then the Suicide Squad 2016 after that, and then the Suicide Squad after that. So got a lot of
Busy
commentaries.
man.
They're very funny. They're mostly for jokes, but they're fun to watch if you want to watch them. Yeah.
Suicide Squad's featuring Slipknot, the man who can climb anything.
Yes, of course.
Are there jokes about Slipknot? Please tell me there are jokes. Okay, good.
Well, they're not jokes. I'm
Also-
serious.
Okay,
I love that character.
thank you.
And Red Guardian also being in Suicide Squad.
Red Guardian would fit in that movie.
Yeah.
No. He is in the movie.
David Harbour's in it.
He is.
Yeah.
As who?
He's the guy that says, "What if Superman tore off the roof?" of the
Oh,
White House?"
fuck that guy.
It's his
Okay,
line.
fine.
He's the one that ruined the idea, that confused everybody on what the Suicide Squad's supposed to do. It's his fault.
Superman came in. Fuck. I saw pictures
Yeah,
about
well,
the Suicide Squad.
It's not out of the question for Captain Boomerang and Harley Quinn to effortlessly take on Superman. All right.
And Killer
know what
Croc, who is
content
just a
you're
guy
reading.
with scales.
The guy who can climb Superman. He will the brown table joke. Is Superman's
He's
up there?
gonna
He can
mount
just climb
Superman.
him. You just go up there and he's on top of him. That's sexy. That movie is so sexy and hot, and music video. I love it.
I do love how it ends
Man.
with Diablo just soloing the boss, because he's essentially the only one necessary in that.
But then he
whole group.
then he basically just dies off screen.
I remember your pitch. You just kill him. Well, I'm
Well,
like,
because my point in that video, I need to defend myself here.
do it.
Because the point of that video was to end with everybody who had died dying in the rewrite. And I was like, well, he dies in the movie, so I might as well just do it there.
You give him the emotional moment still, but he's like, "Oh, we made it together. We're
Yeah.
family." Vin Diesel, and then you just boom.
Yeah.
When does
I
he?
do like,
Amanda
I do
Waller
like what
kills him.
Brown Table said about that, where it's like they spend hours yelling at each other, degrading each other, and he embraces them as their family, just like real life.
You know what you should do, Troy? Fast and Furious commentary.
That actually would be fun, because because Olivia hates car crashes, and I have not seen any of them.
Neither.
I want Tokyo
So,
Drift commentary.
I've never
I feel like
seen a
that'd be the
single one
most
of them.
fun.
I would like to. I've always I missed it because I was too young when they were starting out, and then Fast 5 came out, and that was like the soft reboot and shit. And I was like, I don't know. And I heard it was good. I was like, I don't know. And then I just missed it in theaters, and then it just kept going. I was like, oh well, guess I'm just not seeing these.
I think I watched Fast 5 when I was younger, like when it was on like Stars TV or something. Like,
Well, when's
like,
the last one coming out? Maybe that'll be my because I never did anything for Endgame. Maybe that'll be what it's for Endgame.
They're doing the 2-parter thing, and I want to
Yeah.
make another. I told you about the animation DC AMU video thing or whatever, the DC Animated Universe video, and I want to do another video kind of like that about why all these fucking movies are doing 2-parters. It started with
Yeah.
Harry Potter, then Hunger Games did it, then fucking Avengers Endgame, and then I think that's what they're doing with Mission Impossible, and they're doing that with Fast and Furious. It's like
it's just pretty simple.
it's
You
double.
sell 2 tickets.
You double the monies.
Yeah. I guess you maybe double the budget, but like, yeah.
But then they don't even end it after that. They still do more shit. So it's
Yeah, they
like,
film. I guess they film. They film them both back to back, so it's like effectively the same as just filming one 4-hour movie. But I guess marketing and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what the logistics of that are and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just it's probably mainly money, but then it's also, I guess they want like a big, because it's more publicity than anything else, you know.
Yeah, if Harry Potter ended on just 7, it wouldn't feel like this, you know, and half of the movie is just them camping and shit.
Yeah.
It wouldn't feel like this big grand finale, but then you have a whole movie that's just a single fight. You know, it felt very epic, and then Endgame's kind of the same way.
Which
like,
I was going to talk
Endgame wasn't adapting anything, you know.
Yeah, which I was going to talk about Harry Potter today, but it's actually probably good because I'll get Scribe on, and we're finishing 7 and 8 this weekend, which maybe we'll stream it in here. But I will maybe do like a podcast.
Ping me and I'll come watch them.
Yes. And then I will probably do like a podcast review on like just fucking all of them in one, because rewatching those movies, all I'll say, 6 is a lot better than I gave it originally credit for. Like a lot better than I originally gave it credit for. I used to be like 6 is but there's some good shit in 6. That's a Half-Blooded Prince one, for those who don't know how to count numbers.
Mithi to have the bad opinion.
But yeah, anyway, that's the end of the podcast. I'm Mithi. Go watch Coda. I will probably release a Coda trailer by the end of the month. That is my goal. I'm editing it. I'm editing scenes, and I'm having a lot of fun. So follow me on Twitter for that, and Flash video soon. That's it. We don't know how to read though, so we call this the Illiterates podcast. We never fucking reference that the name. It's just called the Illiterates, which I guess that's fine. But
you reference the name like at the beginning of every one.
Yeah, but then it's not organic. I'm like, Illiterates, we don't know how to read anyways.
How are you supposed to organically?
I don't know. The Gus and Eddie podcast, their names are Gus and Eddie. It comes up in normal conversation. The Nightcast, we usually record in the middle of the night. It makes sense. The Illiterates.
You spelled night. You spelled night the wrong way. So
thanks for that.
I want to make that clear.
That was really helpful.
Wait, sorry, I'm illiterate.
I never noticed that you're illiterate. So,
yeah, my bad.
Yeah, all right.
You're not supposed to notice this.
You're not. I spelled. For the longest time, I was afraid I spelled film caffeine wrong, even though I knew it was right.
It's a hard word to spell
because it's the two F's.
Film is just a terrible word to spell, right? It's
there's
too many M's, you know.
Because it's EI, right? See if
it's EI, and then I was like IE and 2 F's. I need to remember both.
Except after C, but I always thought that after C meant when C is directly, like when it's directly after C, you know?
Yeah, but no, it's like just in the fucking
in the word. But then the word weird doesn't even count. Oh fuck the English language.
English.
That's why I'm illiterate.
Nah, fam. Watch Indian movies instead. Which, speaking of, I still want to watch an Indian movie with you guys.
Yeah,
I don't know when, but we'll do that. So
yes, absolutely.
All right. Goodbye. And what's the tagline for Illiterates? Make sure to stop reading. Fuck me. This podcast is horrible. Goodbye, idiots.